Everybody, I'm Lisa Ascolese, the Inventress, CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z, and here at the Inventresses podcast. Today, I am extraordinarily excited to have this amazing, outstanding guest speaking today, having a conversation with me. I'm honored. She is the fabulous Germaine Miller-Summers, CEO and founder of HOV LLC publishing company. Will help you with marketing your book, publishing your book, and getting your book on the market. Good afternoon, Germaine.
Hi, Lisa. I am excited about our conversation today.
So happy to have you here, and so phenomenal meeting you, time and time again over the last couple of months. You're just spectacular, and my introduction to you pales in comparison to this giant bio. I mean, you helped people to write and publish over 500 books. So, Germaine, please help me to introduce you properly. Tell me about Germaine, your story. I want to hear it all.
Absolutely. So I have to first say it's truly been an amazing journey. I do understand Hope of Vision is my assignment. I'm going to start there.
Okay, great.
And it started well. The publishing has been 17 years, but I worked in the entertainment industry for over 25 years. And so I think that led to me really discovering my love for people's stories and working with artists that we know. DMX, The Locks, pretty much really allowed me to get a firsthand experience and working with them because it was all about them sharing their stories through music.
Now,
And
what did you do with them? What was your piece in working with all these incredible people?
Management has
Okay.
always been the foundation. I love being a part of one's journey, from the inception, watching it grow,
Mhm.
and really being a part of that process. So, in management, I would always say, because I started in retail
Okay.
management, you can move into any industry
Mhm.
and you just have to learn that industry. And so I had an opportunity to get into the music side of the business through a relative, my aunt, who was a singer, songwriter, and it began to open up doors. I began to meet people and, like, as you know, very friendly, big personality.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard meeting people.
No, you're amazing. You're easy to approach, and you're approachable, and you feel like home. You really do.
Oh,
And
that's so sweet.
that's how I felt when we met, at Angelo's first book signing, one of
Hmm.
his book signings. And just I felt like I knew you forever. I mean,
Absolutely.
and that is, I think that is also the key to your success, your personality, your kindness. And I talk about this all the time, in my book, just being kind and open, to
Definitely.
listen to other people's stories, and you're it. And you
Mhm.
also you help people to through the steps of publishing and understanding how to get their words, their story out. And I want to talk about that
Absolutely.
and how you started that, because you told me a brief story one on
Mhm.
one, but I want the listeners to hear how young you were when you really started writing your own stories.
That's an interesting story. My mom, cleaning out her attic, she came across a book I did in first grade called Candyland. And it was a hardcover book with the cardboard that I had wrapped. And you know what's so significant, and it brought me to tears, is because God has already put in us everything we're going to need on our journey for our purpose.
That's right.
And that was first grade, and here we are, uh, years later. Whereas I had the opportunity of just meeting and someone giving me the opportunity and trusting me to take their passion and turn it into reality, their vision, just their words, their stories. and it gave me an opportunity. And here we are today, 17 years later, over 500 plus books published. And what the blessing is, it's all come through referrals, and people staying with the family, the Hope of Vision family, and publishing multiple stories with me.
You know, we talk about that all the time, you know, just that network. First of all, networking, your personality, we talk about that. And it's wonderful when people give you that opportunity. So,
Absolutely.
you know, you draw kindness. And I mean, I go back to Angelo Ellerby and how, you know, he recognized you and never forgot about you years later when you know, you approached him again, you know, when he was doing this book and everything
Absolutely.
else. And but you stay, you stay in the person's, you stay in each other's lives, right? We talk
Definitely.
about your network is your net worth, right? And it really is.
Yeah.
So meeting, connecting, and staying in touch with people is so important because, and you don't stay with people because they're going to elevate you, but you
That's
never
right.
know what you could do for them as well. You know, you never know.
Absolutely.
One hand washes the other.
Absolutely. You know, one of my mentors would always say, he said, what is the fragrance in your trail, in your path? Is it a
Ah,
sweet smelling fragrance or not? Because no one's going to follow a stench, right?
mm-hmm,
And what's lately, I've been meeting some amazing people like yourself,
mm-hmm.
but it feels like you said, it feels like home. It feels like we've been sister girls forever,
Yes.
knowing each other. And so the connection, it just happens organically. And here we are today, being able to share and start building on a new relationship. So I'm so open. I'm so in a stage of expectation because I'm excited about the journey.
And your journey, I'm going to turn around and grab one of your books here. I love what you're doing. You have two books out right now. Where did I put my books? Oh my gosh, I brought them into my bedroom. Oh no, here they are. Because I am on these books like white on rice, honey. Your books are fabulous. 90-day book creation. Had I known, right? One is
Yes,
a 90-day book creation. 90-day book creation. One is a journal, daily journal. And I talk about this all the time. I talk about this all
absolutely.
the time. Journaling your journey. How important is this? So let's talk
Absolutely.
about your 90-day book creation.
So this book came out of really paying attention to the needs of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And so over the course of time, you know, you hear a lot of things and people, they have stories. They're either afraid, they don't know the how, which is the big part. How do I take my story and how do I make it available for the world? And sometimes they just don't have the financial resources to really put in to creating a book for the marketplace. So with all that, throughout my journey, I've created the 90-day book creation. And what is so amazing about this, it's I made it simplistic. Anyone can pick it up and follow the 12-step program. Anyone. And so I've incorporated a system to go with it because sometimes people want that hands-on. They want someone to be able to coach them through. They want to be able to ask questions. So that's available also. But for the 90-day book creation, I encourage anyone, even if you have a book in the marketplace right now,
Mm-hmm.
there's sections in this book that will tell you how to market your book. Um, there's sections also that will give you income stream ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this thing, and a book is coming also for this concept to income. I always share that you generated one story. That one story can be multiple revenue streams for you. But most time people don't know what that may look like.
Right.
So in this book, I do have chapter 11 is concept to income, and it
Uh-huh.
will give you ideas. It will show you how to take your one story and generate revenue streams from it, multiple revenue streams from it. And so I'm excited about this book to the point whereas right now I just want the world to know it's available. You do not have to be denied to sharing your
I
story with the
know.
world.
I have not stopped This is so good. You know, my book is already out now, but
Mhm.
had I known, because it was not easy. It was not easy. I didn't
Absolutely.
know anything. I've never written a book. Never wrote a
Well,
book before.
there's so many people just like you that's in the same position. They're waiting for something like this. They just need to know where it's at and how they can get it.
Where can we find this incredible book? Where can everybody find it?
So the one good thing about this book, it's available on the website, Hope of Vision Publishing's website, which is HOVPUB.com.
Okay.
Pub pub.com, and it's under the 90-day book creation, but it's also available everywhere. Barnes and Nobles, it's available Amazon, and pretty much you can get it anywhere.
And I mean, this journal too. I mean, also the 90-day book creation journal. So important.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And so I've created a series of journals. So real quick, I'll show you. So
Yeah, please.
I have the Hope of Vision journal, and then I also have a journal called the G Spot Experience.
Love that one.
I,
I went through that. I love it. And I love all of your all of the things. You have your mugs and your t-shirts and all that stuff on there.
yes,
Love it.
yes. So, but the 90-day book creation, all the journals, it really gives you a place to be able to express yourself. They all have different themes. And
Mhm.
so we pretty much share with you in the journals how to use it, how you can use it to really maximize your use. But I wanted to have a journal with the 90-day book creation because even though in the 90-day book creation, there are places for you to write your notes and your thoughts and everything, I wanted you to be able to start sharing your story, putting it down in front of you, doing your timelines, doing your outlines. So I wanted to give you a space that's unique to this journey. And
Mhm.
here we are with the companion, the 90-day book creation daily journal.
So necessary. And I want to
Mhm.
ask, okay, so if they're not using this, well, actually, they should purchase this, and they should also reach out to you and contact you, because personally, I like one-on-one. I love that. I need to
Definitely.
be walked through, because I don't have a lot of time to be, fumbling around and not knowing what I'm doing. Yes, the guide is here, but how can people contact you if they want you? Because you help them from concept to fruition, right?
Absolutely.
If they want you
Absolutely.
to do the work with them, you need the story, but let's talk to us about how you do that.
So on the website at hovpub.com, there's a place in there for services also. We're a full service publishing company. So if you decide that you want to write your story, you want to self-publish, never
Mhm.
feel like you're alone. Most people don't have the time, like you were stating, to really learn the inner workings of how publishing works. So I just try to simplify the system and I allow partnerships to take place. So I have a I have a system whereas we will work with you to self-publish your book so you don't have to feel like you need to know everything.
Right.
We'll work with you through that process, give you back a product ready for the marketplace that you can put right out in your personal distribution channels through your accounts. So we have that. And once again, in the book, it shares all that with you. So I encourage people go to the website. It's so much information at hovpub.com, and you can see all of the services that we offer. You can also engage in the 90-day book creation and register as well.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I never realized how it's not easy, everybody. It's not
It's not.
easy, because I did it and I was like, what did I just get myself into? I mean, it's done, thank God. But it
Mhm.
wasn't, I thought I was gonna write the book, get it on Amazon, and that was it. No.
Exactly.
No. It was quite the journey, I have to tell you.
It
And
is.
still looking at things that could have been done better, of course, had I had you or this book. I mean, really, it's not easy. And I have to say, I'm very grateful for where we are in this time. I shared with you many, many years ago. I've always written. I've always loved to write stories and poetry and music and all of those things. And years ago, I went to go write a children's book. It was a Dr. Woodward
Mhm.
book, it was called. and I wrote pages and pages. I went to go try to get it published, not self-published, but published by a publishing company.
Published. Hmm.
So do you remember Durant's Publishing?
Vaguely, I
Are
do.
they still, I
Yes.
don't even know if they're still around. It was Durant's Publishing. I'll never forget this. I just submitted it to Durant's Publishing. Didn't know what things cost, anything. So I submitted my my works to Durant's, and it was like between $6,000 and $10,000 to publish a book. I had no idea, no clue. I had no idea. But I mean, today, thank God, we have access
Yes.
to easier ways of getting published, self-publishing and so forth. But still, for me, guidance is a key. The next book I write, you're helping me to write it, publish it, the whole thing, because it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
You know,
It is. And
this
I
is
like to
helpful.
tell, that's it. I'm telling you, this will help you along your way. The 90-day book creation, it's a guide to writing and publishing your book in 90 days. And if I could just piggyback off what you just said,
Please.
so the publishing industry has changed so much due to technology. And I always tell people, you can publish yourself. If you have the time, if you have the patience, if you want to go through that process, and that's why people engage in publishers. But there's different types of publishers. You have your traditional publishers that if you can get an agent that can go get your book placed with one of the major houses.
Okay.
But keep this in mind. I always ask, do you want to own your intellectual property, or do you want to give up your rights to your book? It's as simple as that. And the one thing people don't realize is when you write your story, you own it. You own it because you have not entered into any type of deal, any type of contract to state different. So that's important to know. Do you want to own your intellectual property, or do you want to give your rights away for someone else to
Is
make
this what
money?
happens? So if I got what are the bigger one of the bigger publishing
So
companies,
say Simon and Schuster.
Simon and Schuster.
Mhm.
So if I wrote my story manuscript and I sent it off to Simon and Schuster, they would own the rights to the book?
If they decide to go into an agreement with you.
Uh-huh.
So most times, and people say, oh, I want an advance. So they may give you an advance. Advances aren't like they used to be,
Right.
So they may
Yes.
give you an advance. By them giving you an advance, which means they're putting out the monies, which means you don't see your royalties until they recoup back any monies they've spent. And that could be marketing, promotions, as well as the publishing process. So they own your intellectual property, not you.
Did not know that. Did not know
Absolutely.
that.
So
I
I
love
always
that
tell
huge
people,
nugget.
absolutely. I always tell people we're in a season, we're in a time right now. It is about ownership. And the one thing I always say is for me, HOV Publishing is a partnership with my authors. They own their intellectual property. So we provide them with publishing services, but at the end of the day, they own it. I don't want to own somebody's labor. That book, those stories, that's your family's legacy. It could be their inheritance,
Yes.
So
Yes.
you really have to know. And people always say, I want to get in advance. I want to get in advance. But what happens after that? Because you may not see any more monies from that book.
Wow. And like you say, I mean, what do you say about books and people who write books and authors? They have it
What do I
forever.
say? Huh?
You talk about having it forever. I mean, your books,
Absolutely.
right?
I say that, you know what? Your book can outlive you. There's books today from people that have passed away that we're still buying. So at the
I
end
mean,
of the
so let me ask you this. This
Mhm.
is almost off topic, but on topic.
Uh-huh.
Good point though, because I was just talking about, um, trusts and things like that. So would you
Yes.
put your book in a trust for
What's
families,
interesting,
right?
so when you think
Please.
about it, your book is an asset. So think about this, right? When you get ready to put a trust together, you want to know where all your assets are that you're going to leave to your loved ones, right? So things don't get tied up in probate court. So if
Yes.
you've written a book and it's in the marketplace, add that into your trust, your will as well. because that can generate revenue. The one thing people don't realize, that book, once it's published, you can now, remember I said one story can generate multiple revenue streams. So let me just share real quick some multiple revenue streams.
Please, please.
So we have this one book, right?
Yes.
This book has been created. This is in a paperback form, right?
Yes.
So think about the other formats. So I can make this book also a hard case book. That's another revenue stream. You know why?
Oh.
Because it has a separate ISBN number. That's 2 ISBN numbers. So just think about the ebook. That's 3.
Yes.
The audio book is 4. Those are 4 streams of revenue because each one has its own identifier, right?
Very good to know.
But it's one story, still one story.
You're a genius.
So, but that's not it. That's just one. I was speaking on a platform and I had the audience. We identified 10 different revenue streams out of one story.
Wow.
So remember
Oh
what
my
I
God.
said. I said, now I offer master classes or I offer trainings, right? On this book. That's another revenue stream.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
So think about merchandising is another revenue stream. It's
So
still just the one
merchandising, like you have,
story.
like your mugs and the t-shirts and everything that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's still one story. It's still one topic. It's still one product that we turned into multiple revenue streams.
Now you're gonna make me get busy tonight doing all this stuff.
Oh,
I
you
need
have to
mugs
get busy.
or t-shirts.
You have to. You have to, because think about it. So when you think about your book, right? I have your book right here.
Thank you.
So when you think about your book is also, think about how are you presenting this book to the world? So you're pretty much giving tips, you're giving ideas, you're giving strategies and stuff. So when you think about that, people will invest in that because, one, they want to know for themselves, how can this benefit me? I always say that's the key. A person wants to know, me buying your book, how's it going to benefit me?
Absolutely.
And the reason it's going to benefit you is because you're going to learn how to take that idea that's in your mind, that invention that you may have, and turn that into revenue, income. And sometimes people just need a guide along the way.
For sure. And I'm one of those people. I love it. I love to learn from the experts.
Absolutely.
From the experts, be guided through. But I mean, you've given me, I can't believe I didn't think about doing a mug. It's ridiculous. But this is why we need you, right?
Exactly. So when you think about that, right? So people get in a nice, cozy space. They get their blanket. They have their book. They have their drink. And just like you said, let me go get my tea.
Yes.
How come your tea can't have your brand on? Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So call Vistaprint when we hang up. Just the mugs. I did do the bookmarks. I did the bookmarks.
Yes.
That's a giveaway.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And people love the bookmarks. People love bookmarks.
Yes. Yes. And magnetic bookmarks, even better, right? Just grab it off.
Absolutely.
But I love this. I love this so much. And I'm gonna you have to come back again. But wait, I want to make sure you're sharing everything, because those were great tools and nuggets that you just shared. 10 streams of income. 10.
Yes. So what I want people to do is just start thinking about, out of your one story, how can it generate multiple revenue streams for you? And I don't want people to be closed-minded, because we just named 5 of them just in conversation, right?
Yes.
So I want people to really think beyond, because a book is a product. And I always say it's a byproduct of something, of a larger vision, most times.
Yes. Yes.
So
you're so right, because my book, I had to calm myself down to write my book, because there's so much I wanted to put in the book. I had to relax. I said, let me just put in the essentials that the inventors, and then do the kindness, do the positive affirmations, very similar to what you're doing, to stay focused and stay kind and stay on target, and journal at the same time. There's so much more as I read my
Ah,
own book, there's so
yes.
much more I want to write. So that's the
So
next.
I want to piggyback off that. So what
Okay,
you
please.
just said, there's so much information that it just can't go into one book, right?
Yes.
So that's when I tell people start thinking about volumes. Start thinking
Ah,
about a series, So I mean, I have 12 steps. I can break down each one of these steps and it can become its own.
that yes.
So think about that, really engage in giving people a library of information, especially if you're set up to train and teach from it. I always say, think
Yes.
about putting a system in place that people can invest in that's going to help benefit them. Because that's what people want. How is it going to benefit me if I
Ex-
invest my money in this?
Right, exactly. Don't just do me a
Mhm.
favor. Don't just buy it.
Absolutely.
You're going to get something out of it.
Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And we talked about that last night. I had a fast track class last night, and I talk about these
Mhm.
things. I took some chapters out of the book and talked about just that, benefiting
So,
others. Like, how is it a benefit to you? You know,
definitely.
there's a need. There's a need. Your book, certainly, people need to purchase this book. Everybody wants to write a book. I promise you. When
They
my book
do.
came out, when my book came out, everybody I know said, I want to write a book. How do I do it? I said, don't ask me.
So this is the amazing thing that I love with partnerships and relationships.
Yes,
Now when people ask, I want to write a book, what do I do? Say, you know what? I have a partner company that
yes.
I work
Oh,
with,
uh-huh.
and you can start there.
Yes, yes. Because I stay in my lane, did it. I muddled through it, got through it with great help, I must add. But
Absolutely.
it was because I made phone calls every 5 minutes. Okay, I'm over here. What do I do next? I got my ISBN number. I got all these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
But that's why I set up my referral program because
oh,
it
good.
so if I could just say, I know we're wrapping up, but
No,
I do have a
tell us.
referral.
We need
I
to know
do
it
have
all.
a referral program because I can't do 500 plus books single-handedly by myself.
Mhm.
Like I stated, everything's come through referral. I built my company through referrals. And so I reward them $100 a referral that joins the HOV family.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna be
people
rich.
can listen,
I'm gonna be rich, girl, because
listen. I always say
I
people
got
can make a lot of money just referring and somebody joining the HOV
oh,
publisher family.
listen, I'm telling you right now, every person I know said, wow, I can't believe you actually wrote a book. This is amazing. I've always wanted to write a book, just didn't know how to start or what to do. I just jumped in and I started swimming and like doggy paddling my way
Yes,
through this. But now we don't have to do that.
not
We
at
can
all.
be part of the HOV family. We can have experts
Absolutely.
help us to write our books, help us become great authors and become bestsellers. That's the other thing, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's another thing too, just partnering with companies like yours and others that have you're already doing your workshops, seminars. And so you may offer something special to them. I may be an invited guest to come in and take them through this journey, you
Well,
know?
you already are. Yes. Aoi, here she comes. Yes, for sure. Everybody wants to learn. I mean, we're living in a very innovative and creative society. And, if you're making somebody else's life easy by teaching them how to
Absolutely.
step by step, they're down. I am down. I'm down.
Absolutely.
I'm in it. The next book, I'm not doggy paddling, honey. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing
You
that.
don't have to. Look, you're already 12 steps ahead of the game.
Oh my gosh, you have been so incredible, incredible conversation with you. Please share again your social
Yes.
media, your website, how everybody needs to purchase this book, your
In
90
this
day
book,
book
yes.
creation daily journal, okay?
Yes. Hmm.
And 90-day book creation, everybody.
Absolutely.
Incredible. So where do we go?
Absolutely.
Where do we go? One more time.
So you can go to our website at HOV, P as in Paul, U, B as in boy.com. That's the Hope of Vision Publishing website. And also we are on social media, and it's at HOV Connect, which is also our podcast, which is Hope of Vision Connect. So, and that's Facebook, Instagram. We're on TikTok, but I got to be honest, I'm still learning TikTok.
That's okay. We
But
got time. We have time.
absolutely.
Well,
But this has truly been a pleasure.
oh, you are so remarkable. Thank you so much. And will you promise to come back?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, you can't get rid of me that easy, okay?
You are such a love. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. So I really appreciate you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
All right. I will see you. Hope to see you at the book signing.
I will be there.
Perfect.
I will be there.
I'll see you on Sunday.
All right.
All right, honey. Take care. Bye.